Here's a look at your most expensive transfers from the January window that was. Milan spending a lot of money. I know we said on yesterday's show it was a little bit of a dud, but nonetheless, some big moves. Gab Marcotti, let's go to you first. Anything stand out to you from the transfer window that just wrapped up?
Well, I think certainly Milan had one of the more interesting ones. Obviously, not just Higuain leaving and Piatek coming in to replace him, but also that's a ton of money they went out and spent on Paqueta, who is expected to come in mid-season, provide a lot of that creativity. Beyond that, as we said, in the Premier League, we haven't seen too much in the ways of big transfers. Denis Suarez, Emery knows him really well. Interesting gamble. Certainly a player who once was very highly thought of, and at 25 can get his career back on track and has done a job for Emery before. And obviously Chelsea pushing all their chips into the middle of the table on Higuain, at least through the end of the season.
Doesn't have to be from the list that we saw at the top of the segment, but maybe what was your big takeaway from the window?
Well, I'll stay on that list if you're okay with that.
Totally.
Frenkie de Jong. That seemed to be going to PSG. It felt like he was going to all sorts of different places, and Barcelona sneaks in and says, you know what? Here we are. And a player that if you watch him, man, he's got a whole lot of attributes, and it can give you production defensively, but can also be a presence in the attack, athleticism out of the midfield, ability, vision. He's got the full package, and I got to tell you, Barcelona got themselves a good player.
Stevie?
You got to stick with De Jong.
Yeah.
I mean, he's by far the best player. A guy who right now can step on the field, even at Barcelona.
You think he walks into their 11?
Well, I don't see why not. The guy's a player. The guy at the highest level is a fantastic player. And yes, play him now. Why not?
What do you think?
Some guys are smooth, man. And he's smooth with the ball.
Really? To step into that 11?
Well, but that 11, those need...
Did you watch him in the
You know where I saw him the most was in the Nations League.
Yeah, against
great.
who? Against who? The World Cup winners and against Germany, perennial title challengers. So if you can play against those guys...
Yep. Just making the point that the Barcelona 11's not easy to crack.
No, but he gives you athleticism that I think that midfield needs. And sometimes Rakitic is not giving you that work. Maybe De Jong steps into that position. He's not going to take Busquets' position because he's a player that is more advanced. And so it's a heck of an option to have. It's a better version to Arturo Vidal now and at this stage of his career. And so therefore, yeah, there's an opportunity for him to step in. It's about his growth and his maturity, but what we have seen so far has been impressive.
I think Piatek going to Milan as well was just, it's not the big jazzy eye-opener of maybe, a De Jong, or certainly not a Pulisic from a US perspective. But from a Milan perspective and from a Gattuso perspective, who has been on the hot seat for quite a while, and they've been on a decent run, or a good run recently, been getting better results. They've got a guy in to replace a very good goal scorer, a younger guy, and he got off to a great start. I think it was the Coppa Italia. And that could be the difference between them getting in the top four and Gennaro Gattuso keeping his job and taking them on. So that's huge for him.
We're looking at the numbers here for the seasons, the respective seasons between Piatek and Higuain, the guy who replaced. I know it's kind of a crazy question to ask, but...
That's why you're going to ask it.
does Milan actually end up, and we know now that Higuain hasn't scored in a couple games and is out of shape, but maybe Milan got the better of that deal?
Time will tell.
It's hard to say. Higuain has scored a bunch of goals, but Piatek has been impressive. And he was playing at Genoa where he didn't get a whole many opportunities. So that in itself is impressive, and his start with Milan hasn't been impressive as well.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.